I didn't find this in a collection. I found it in an old dusty jar, mixed in with a bunch of ordinary pennies that most people would never even look at twice. It almost slipped past me, too. Something about this one penny felt different. No shine, no obvious sign, just a small detail that changed everything. People throw pennies like this away every day, not realizing what they're actually holding. What if I told you that a single penny, just one, could be worth way more than you think? In this video, I'm going to show you why this ordinary-looking penny might actually be a hidden treasure, and how you could have one sitting somewhere right now without even knowing it. Welcome back to my channel, Coin Vault USA. In the vast and fascinating world of coin collecting, few coins capture both historical depth and collector curiosity quite like the 1952D Lincoln Wheat Penny. At first glance, it may appear to be just another small copper coin, something ordinary and easily overlooked. But hidden within its design, its markings, and its journey through time lies a powerful story, one that connects American history, economic shifts, artistic legacy, and the subtle details that can turn a simple penny into something incredibly valuable. To truly understand the importance of the 1952D Lincoln Wheat Penny, we must begin by going back in time, not just to 1952, but to the very origins of the Lincoln cent itself. The Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It marked a historic moment in U.S. coinage, as it was the first time a real person, rather than a symbolic figure, appeared on a circulating American coin. The design was created by the renowned sculptor Victor David Brenner, whose artistic vision gave the coin a timeless and recognizable look. On the front or obverse of the coin, we see the detailed portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. His calm yet strong expression symbolizes unity, leadership, and resilience, qualities that defined his presidency during one of the most challenging periods in American history. Now, let's talk about the wheat penny itself. The term wheat penny comes from the reverse design of the coin, which features two curved wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America. This design was used from 1909 until 1958, after which it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design. The wheat stalks represent prosperity, agriculture, and growth, key elements of the American economy during the early 20th century. This is why coins like the 1952D are often referred to as Lincoln Wheat Pennies or simply wheat cents. Now, moving forward to the year 1952. This was a post-World War II era, a time when the United States was experiencing economic growth, industrial expansion, and increasing global influence. Coins minted during this period reflect not only monetary value, but also the stability and confidence of a nation, rebuilding and moving forward. The D Mint mark on the 1952D penny stands for the Denver Mint. This tells us that the coin was produced in Denver, one of the major minting facilities in the United States. Each mint location had its own characteristics, and collectors often pay close attention to mint marks because they can significantly affect a coin's rarity and value. In 1952, the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of Lincoln Wheat Pennies. At first glance, this high mintage might suggest that the coin is not rare and in general circulated condition. That is true, the 1952D penny is quite common. However, here's where things get interesting. The true value of a coin is not determined solely by how many were made, but by how many have survived in excellent condition. Coins that remain in uncirculated or near perfect condition are much harder to find, and therefore much more valuable. For example, a heavily circulated 1952D wheat penny might be worth only a few cents above its face value, but in higher grades, especially mint state conditions such as Ms. 65 or above, the value can increase significantly. Some well-preserved examples with strong luster and minimal marks can sell for tens or even hundreds of dollars. And then, there are error coins. Error coins are where things become truly exciting for collectors. These are coins that were minted with mistakes, small imperfections that make them unique. In the case of the 1952D wheat penny, collectors look for errors such as double die strikes, off-center designs, or unusual surface marks. These rare variations can dramatically increase a coin's value, sometimes pushing it far beyond what a standard coin would be worth. Now, let's address an important term you mentioned: wheat penny versus Lincoln penny. Technically, all wheat pennies are Lincoln pennies, but not all Lincoln pennies are wheat pennies. The term Lincoln penny refers to all 1-cent coins featuring Abraham Lincoln from 1909 to the present day. However, the design on the back has changed over time. From 1909 to 1958, the reverse featured wheat stalks, hence the name wheat penny. After 1958, the design changed to the Lincoln Memorial, and later to the Union Shield design used today. So when we say 1952D, Lincoln wheat penny, we are being very specific. It is a Lincoln penny from the wheat design era, minted in Denver in 1952. Another important aspect is the material composition. The 1952D wheat penny is made primarily of copper, specifically 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This composition gives the coin its distinctive reddish-brown color when new. Over time, as the coin circulates and is exposed to air and moisture, it can develop darker tones ranging from brown to deep chocolate hues. Collectors often classify these coins based on color: red, RD, red-brown RB, and brown BN. Fully red coins are the most desirable and valuable because they retain their original mint luster. So why is it called a wheat penny? And sometimes people refer to it casually as a wheat coin or even wet penny by mistake. The correct term is wheat penny, referring directly to the wheat stalk design. There is no official term like wet penny. That's simply a mispronunciation or misunderstanding. Now, let's talk about the man on the coin, Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln's presence on the coin is not just symbolic. It represents a turning point in American history. His leadership during the Civil War and his role in ending slavery made him one of the most respected figures in U.S. history. By placing his image on the penny, the nation honored his legacy in a way that millions of people would interact with daily. Every time someone held a Lincoln penny, they were, in a sense, holding a piece of history. As we continue exploring the 1952D wheat penny, we begin to realize that this coin is much more than just currency. It is a combination of art, history, economics, and human error, all compressed into a small copper disc. And yet, many of these coins still exist today, hidden in old jars, forgotten collections, or even circulating quietly in everyday change. The question is, could one of them be valuable? That's exactly what we will explore in the next part of this documentary. Rare errors in 1952D wheat penny. Exact price ranges: low grade to high grade. How to identify valuable coins. Real auction examples, collector tips, and hidden secrets. As we move deeper into the story of the 1952D Lincoln wheat penny, we now enter a layer of understanding that goes far beyond basic collecting. This is the level where history, economics, metallurgy, and human behavior all intersect, turning a simple coin into a complex historical artifact. To fully appreciate the depth of this coin, we must first understand the environment in which it was created. The year 1952 was a defining period in American economic history. The United States was transitioning from a wartime economy into a consumer-driven powerhouse. Industries were expanding, suburbs were growing, and everyday commerce relied heavily on small denomination coins like the penny. At the center of this production was the Denver Mint, a facility known for producing massive quantities of coins to meet national demand. However, mass production often comes with subtle inconsistencies, and in the world of coin collecting, these inconsistencies are where value is born. During the early 1950s, minting technology was advanced for its time, but still heavily reliant on manual processes. Dies were prepared by hand, mint marks were punched individually, and quality control, while present, was not as precise as modern standards. This created an environment where small variations, sometimes microscopic, could pass through unnoticed. These variations are what collectors now study with intense precision. Let's go deeper into minting errors, but this time with historical context. One of the most fascinating aspects of 1952 coin production is the use of hand-punched mint marks. Unlike modern coins, where mint marks are part of the die itself, coins like the 1952D had their D mint mark added manually. This process often resulted in slight misplacements or multiple impressions, giving rise to repunched mint marks (RPMs). These RPM varieties are not just random errors. They are fingerprints of the minting process. Each one tells a story of a worker aligning a punch, adjusting it, and striking it again, sometimes imperfectly. In high-grade examples, a strong RPM on a 1952D penny can significantly increase its desirability. Advanced collectors often catalog these varieties and assign them specific classifications, making them even more valuable in niche markets. Now, let's explore die life cycles, an often ignored but critical factor. Coin dies do not last forever. Over time, repeated striking causes wear, cracks, and fatigue. Early die states produce sharp, highly detailed coins, while later die states result in weaker strikes and visible flaws. A 1952D penny struck from a fresh die will show crisp lines in Lincoln's hair, sharp lettering, and well-defined wheat stalks. In contrast, coins struck from worn dies may appear soft or blurry. But here's the interesting part. Sometimes, late die states produce dramatic errors like large die cracks or cuds. These imperfections, while technically flaws, can make a coin far more collectible. Collectors often face a paradox: should they prefer perfection or uniqueness? The answer depends on the collector's philosophy. Now, let's move into a deeper valuation framework, not just price ranges, but why those prices exist. The value of a 1952D wheat penny is influenced by four core pillars: condition, color, rarity within grade, and collector demand. Condition, as discussed earlier, is measured on a scale from 1 to 70, but beyond the number, collectors look for eye appeal, how attractive the coin looks overall. Two coins with the same grade can have very different market values depending on their visual quality. Color plays a crucial role because copper is a reactive metal. Over decades, exposure to oxygen transforms its surface. This is why fully red coins are rare. They have somehow avoided the natural aging process. Rarity within grade is perhaps the most misunderstood concept. Even though millions of 1952D pennies were minted, very few exist in top-tier condition. According to population data from grading companies like Professional Coin Grading Service, the number of coins graded Ms. 67 red is extremely limited compared to lower grades. This scarcity creates competition among collectors, and where there is competition, prices rise. Now, let's explore real-world pricing behavior in more depth. At the lower end, heavily circulated coins, those with visible wear, scratches, and discoloration, are generally valued between $0.02 and $0.5. These coins are abundant and primarily collected in bulk. Mid-grade coins, such as extremely fine or about uncirculated, can range from $1 to $5 depending on their appearance. Once we enter mint state territory, the price structure changes dramatically, and Ms. 63 brown coin might sell for around $5 to $10, while an Ms. 65 red coin could reach $50 to $120. At the highest levels, Ms. 66 and Ms. 67 red prices can exceed $200 or even approach $500 in strong market conditions. But these numbers are not fixed. Coin values fluctuate based on market trends, collector interest, and auction activity. A coin sold during a peak demand period may fetch significantly more than the same coin sold during a quieter market phase. Now, it add another layer: historical collecting trends. In the 1960s and 1972 coin collecting experience a massive boom in the United States. Many collectors began saving wheat pennies and rolls, hoping they would increase in value. This is one reason why some uncirculated 195D pennies still exist today. However, not all were preserved properly. Improper storage led to toning, spotting, and corrosion, reducing the number of high-quality survivors. This selective survival is what defines rarity today. Now, let's talk about authentication and grading submission. Serious collectors often send their coins to professional grading services like Numismatic Guarantee Company. These companies encapsulate the coin in protective holders and assign official grades. A graded coin carries more trust in the market, making it easier to sell and often increasing its value. However, grading is not free. Collectors must decide whether the potential increase in value justifies the cost of submission. Now, stepping into advanced collector strategy. Many experts recommend searching through bulk wheat penny lots, because coins like the 195D are common. Valuable examples are often overlooked. This process, known as coin roll hunting, has become a popular method for discovering hidden gems. Collectors search through rolls of pennies, examining each coin for condition, color, and errors. While most finds are ordinary, occasionally a high-grade or error coin emerges, making the effort worthwhile. Now, let's reflect on the deeper significance of the 195D wheat penny. This coin represents a time when money was tangible, when craftsmanship mattered, and when even the smallest denomination carried artistic and historical value. It is a reminder that value is not always obvious. Sometimes, it is hidden in details so small that only patience and knowledge can reveal them. And perhaps that is what makes coin collecting so compelling. It is not just about money, it is about discovery. The thrill of finding something rare in something common. The realization that history is not just found in books or museums, but in everyday objects that have quietly survived the passage of time. As this journey through the 195D Lincoln wheat penny comes to an end, one final thought remains. Somewhere, right now, there may be a coin worn, forgotten, unnoticed that holds a story far greater than its size. And the only question is, will someone recognize its value before it's lost forever?